Perfect.
See, I told you.
Gotta
Mike
love
Lindsley.
technology, baby.
I know. It was that little bit of a delay going from here to there, back to me again. So yeah,
That's all right.
It's crazy. Mike Lindsley, we got the Pinstripe Passion.
Am I supposed to dance here? Is this like a dance club? I don't, my dance moves are gone.
I know. My wife said I need to change the music. But no, I'm doing dance.
I love
by
it.
the way. No, it's all right. Well, we can always bring it down a little bit.
It makes two old dudes feel young. That's why I like this music.
You mean one old dude?
Well, I'm no spring chicken anymore, kid.
Come on.
Come on. Hit 40 in December, brother.
Dude, don't even talk
But
to
it's
me.
not 22. It's not, you know what I mean?
No,
It's not,
I know. 40's nothing.
Right, but it's still, it's something. It's like baseball, right? You can't win the pennant in April, but you can lose it. When you're 40, you're not.
And you can't cheat because it is what it is.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh, man.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. You were here a while back.
I
And,
loved it. I love being here.
yeah, welcome to Skip Happens. And I love watching your podcast too, man.
Thanks, man.
It just keeps me up on what's going on. You do the 9-minute thing, right?
9 minutes. I'm doing the ML Sports Platter podcast, which you can get all over Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Deezer, Podbean app, YouTube, Tumblr, on all the areas that people can get it on these babies. And, I've had some huge guests on, Skip, the last year. So I've had Mark Teixeira on. I've had Kel Ripken on. I had Armin Katayan on. I had Marty Biron, the former goalie of the Sabres, on, and Mike Pekka on, the former. Yeah, he actually played for the Syracuse Crunch way in the beginning.
I
So
remember that.
he shared actually a cool story when he was called Captain Crunch in The Office.
He may have. I don't have it over here, but I have a Crunch jersey from the very first season.
I looked at that when
Last
I was
time?
here, and I believe that you do have that on there. I believe it's Pekka, Lonnie Bahanas.
Yes.
Mike Fountain might be on that as
Wow.
well.
Yes,
Derek
goalie.
Walzer.
Fountain was the goalie.
Derek Walzer. John Baduk. I mean,
Oh, Baduk.
Come on, man.
You saw Baduk hit the ice.
Oh, yeah.
You know there was trouble coming.
They retired his jersey because he could punch people. But so the podcast has been going great. My numbers are awesome, and then I'm just doing my thing with the videos, Facebook Live. I'm going to try to get into that a little bit more. Twitter and it's just crazy. The business is insane, and the content never stops.
Yeah, when you do the 9-minute thing, that's right on Facebook.
It's on Facebook, IGTV, which is part of Instagram, and on YouTube.
Okay.
So
that's cool. I had to look into some of that stuff.
Yeah, it just hit record, do a video.
I'm the rookie at this. I'm new at this. So.
But you're not a rookie to this.
Well,
which is everything that matters. So
been doing that a long time. But doing this and kind of planning for my future a little bit, and knowing that podcasts are huge. I mean,
they are.
Right there. To my left, everybody, Mike is a good example of how big it is and what he's doing, and you're making a living off it. So it's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, it is. And everything, podcasts is like parenthood and like where you live, and everything has its yays and everything has its nays, and I think the yays of podcasting is you can do it whenever you want, wherever you want, as evidenced by this and my phone right now.
I just had dinner upstairs, so
right,
I gotta go downstairs to work.
So you can do it. Now, I mean, I have a 4-week-old at home, so I put, I book all my podcasts, and if something happens where my kid, shits her pants or whatever, I'm like, okay, oh hey, in fact, I texted Pekka when I had him on. I was like, oh man, can you give me 15 minutes? My kid just, shot a poop rocket out. I got it. So he said, yeah, and he was laughing, or it was Biron. So that's cool. You can do whatever you want. You can, your numbers are not what they are today. They're always going to grow, right. And you own it. And in the world of today, with how busy we are, it's pretty neat that you can sell it and sell modern media, which I'm a huge fan of telling clients that is the deal today and where we are going. It's modern media, man.
It is the technology, and if you don't embrace the technology, you don't go digital, you're not going to win.
Sure. And I think
you have to be able to embrace it.
You do. And I think that some of it, and it's okay that this is the way it is that some of it is an education piece. When somebody says, well, yeah, but what does this do for me? Or, my Facebook page is cool, but it's really not the thing anymore. I bring it up and I'm like, look, Facebook is not what it was intended to be 20 years ago as a college networking site. It's not even today really intended to what it was 10, 15. But what it's still doing for businesses is, if it's the right business, they're throwing out coupons, they're throwing out giveaways, you do shares, it gets to all these different places, you get extra likes, you get more feeds involved, and there's still a place for it if you are in a certain world, which businesses are thriving. My clients thrive off of Facebook.
How's your MySpace page?
My MySpace page, you know what? Speaking of retired jerseys.
I know, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
MySpace is the retired
Remember
jersey
all
of
that
technology.
when that went down? Everybody had to have a MySpace
Yeah,
page.
I do. I remember AOL Instant Messenger too.
Oh my God.
Bonaboy 9802 was my IM. Back when I was
always skip DJ1.
I was using IM in college and playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the computer, and look where we are now, huh?
Hear the door open, the door close. So and so just joined.
You have mail. Yeah. Although I did have an AOL account, but
I have an AOL account now because Verizon.
Oh, right.
Goes through AOL
email.
So.
Yeah.
But I mean I still have Verizon.net, but I know people that still have, so and so at AOL.com.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, they've had that forever. Hey, with Cooperstown coming up, did you get a chance to talk to some of those guys? Were you?
So no, I actually. What's crazy is the induction, the actual the election night. When Jeter missed by 1 vote, I was obviously on MLB Network and on social and this and that, and I got an email from the Hall of Fame. I had just picked up dinner, and I got home, and I'm on the email list with a lot of other media people to, jump into teleconferences if you want with the media. So I patched in at 7:02 into the Derek Jeter one with all the media members. I've interviewed Derek before. I took a picture with him this past summer, but I was like, okay, I gotta go. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I said, what, Jeter? And I'm trying to tell her in the other room. I got the kid over here. My dog's going nuts. So
Honey, hold on to the kid. Put the dinner on the back burner. I got to get a hold of Jeter.
Right. So I just called the number and I plugged in the the code to ask a question with my affiliation, and I didn't
number 54.
I didn't get a question asked, but I came super close. I knew I was close at the end when there were 2 guys from 2 outlets I had never heard of, because they went from Ken Davidoff to this person to Kevin Kernan to
right.
And so I was like, all right, here we go. And so, but I got some cool audio, and I was able to put it out there. Cool. There is an unnamed media person in Central New York who can't stand me. I don't mind him.
You mean you have an enemy?
Oh, so many, and they're not just they're not just at home.
You're a sports guy.
Yeah, I know, right? With an opinion, please.
Yeah, and that's good to have your own opinion.
Yeah.
If they can't take that, then screw them.
But what I was going to tell you is that audio, when I put out their exclusive audio, it really was exclusive audio. There is a person in the media business who does his own thing like I do, who just, goes into these teleconferences that anybody can get into. This was not one of those occasions. You're on an actual email list, right? You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And if you've covered the Hall of Fame induction for long enough,
you get on that list.
You get on the list. Okay. That doesn't mean that so if you're not on the email list, you can't get on it. But you could get on an ACC teleconference call because they tell you.
Yeah,
they tell you on Twitter. Okay. So this was, and he had some good things to say, but I'm so pumped. I'm so fired up for Derek Jeter to get in. I was so fired up for Mo last year. I'm probably going to shed a tear this year. I shed a tear last year. Yeah. And you know what? I'm actually really thrilled for Larry Walker. I think there's certain guys who have to wait a certain time and certain ballots, and Larry Walker's one of those guys, one of the complete skill sets of all time. Some of his numbers, when you look at the OBP splits and the in the slugging and throwing and playing multiple positions, he was a guy who was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He wasn't a fifth ballot Hall of Famer, but sometimes you have to wait, and I think it happened for him in the last spot. I was super on the fence with him, much like Tim Raines, much like Barry Larkin, much like Ozzie Smith, much like many guys, much like Burt Blyleven for that matter.
Oh my gosh.
But when you look at the numbers and the sabermetric part that's come into it, Larry Walker probably is a barely in Hall of Famer. That doesn't mean he should be in the Hall of Very Good. He is a Hall of Famer, but he had to wait. And a lot of people say, oh, well, if you're a Hall of Famer, you should just be in. Not in baseball. That is not how it works in baseball. There's a difference between Hank Aaron and Larry Walker, and I'm okay with him being in.
Wow.
I'm all right with him being in.
That's cool. That's cool, though. Cooperstown's going to be nuts.
Oh.
I think it's going to be the biggest it's ever been. I think it's going to be wild. Zach, my son, talked about going, and I'm like, dude, I think maybe we'll stay home and watch it on television.
Well, I'm
afraid to get into that. It's a beautiful little area, but there's going to be so many people.
Why can't you put in for a credential and put him as your intern? Why can't you do that? So, like, when the link comes to me, I'll forward it to you.
Okay.
And then you can try to get in, and then if you don't get in, you can always type and be like, oh, well, Mike Lindsley is my friend.
We'll see what we can do.
No, but it's cool, man. And you know what? If you don't get in for media, like, you could try to strike media. Whoa. If you don't get in that way, go as a fan. Like, go there early. Get there on Sunday. Leave the house at like 7:30.
Yeah.
Actually, 7, quarter to 7.
Probably even earlier.
No, I'm telling you, last year we did it, and there was a huge
Really?
contingent for Mo, for Edgar.
Yeah, that's true.
We got there, and there wasn't a lot of traffic, Skip. And I went, I think this was like my 3rd or 4th year where I went Friday down and back, Saturday down and back, and Sunday down and back. And I think it'll be okay. And a lot of people will stay. And then a lot of people from New York City, they make the drive until Albany, and then they go in Sunday morning.
Yeah, okay, I get you.
So there's different
got this
packs
down.
of people, man. I've been covering it since 04 every year, you know. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun. But I would go as a, I mean, if you can't get in as media, go as a fan, bring them. You know, get down there early, sit on the back hill, grab a couple of chairs, pack a cooler, sandwiches and stuff. You know,
He was all excited you were coming over to talk sports. So
Yeah.
that's why I thought maybe he'd come down and hang out.
yeah. Where is that guy?
He's upstairs.
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
He's looking at what
he's
you
looking
gave
at the
him.
program.
You're just a great guy. And what you do for my son, I can't thank you enough.
Oh, he's the best.
Just that whole relationship thing.
I love him.
Hey, you know, I do want to talk a little bit about the Koby Bryant deal.
I do too.
I'm still having a hard time with that.
I am too.
You know, and you know, you're huge into sports.
Yeah.
I'm, I guess, a fair weather sports fan. I do, but Koby Bryant touched. It didn't matter who you were or what you do, whether you're into sports or not into sports. It's what he stood for, and what he did.
For sure.
And then you know, I had a tear. I sat
I
there. I
know.
read it. I mean, how could you not cry? And then I watched the late night television,
man.
and I just lost it. It
Yeah.
was terrible. But I still have a lot of questions about that. But
Yeah, well, I look at Kobe as one of the rare athletes, Skip, who you live through. You know, like the
Yeah,
normal
that's a good way to put
person
it, yeah.
lives through Kobe Bryant. And it's happened in a couple different ways. One, I grew up on Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was my guy. The Bulls were my team. But then the next wave came in, and it was who is the next MJ. And while MJ gets compared to LeBron, it's not really that close. Kobe patented his game after Michael Jordan, and Kobe literally was the Jordan follow-up. And he won 5 titles, one short of Michael. He patented the fadeaway and drive into the hoop and the reverse layups and, you know, the fist out and all that. So I actually broke away from the NBA a little bit after MJ retired. I regret it, and I'll tell you the number one reason why.
Why?
Kobe. And I'm not saying that because of what happened. I've said that for a long time. Kobe and Shaq together, the Lakers, him in his prime, the Spurs dynasty. Kobe Bryant was the next sort of Michael Jordan wave, and I disappeared because Michael retired, and I thought the product went down, and there were several, you know, different reasons. But people who are my age, they lived the second half of their lives from a basketball and sports standpoint, a repeat Jordan. That's the first way. The second way is from the pioneering standpoint for all of basketball and all of sports, that Kobe went right from Lower Merion in Philly right to the NBA. So he paved
Right
the
out of
way
school.
for Kevin Garnett, for Jermaine O'Neal, for what Carmelo could have done, for LeBron James, for all these different guys. Now, I realize Moses Malone was technically the first real guy, but in the modern era that we've seen one and done before that, it was really skip it and go. Sebastian Telfair made a terrible move going to the pros. He went because he saw Kobe Bryant. He set that pattern. That's the second way. The third way, and this is the craziest way, is Kobe came into the league and literally grabbed what Magic and Bird had done with Jordan after that, and David Stern, and the Dream Team, and the globalization of the game. And he literally was like, "Oh, you guys are right here. You're already kind of on the top of the moon. I'm gonna go to the second moon with it."
Wow.
Team USA, Global Impact, LA, and you know, it's amazing. And since the sexual assault
That was way
thing
that was
in
like,
03.
Yeah, that was a long time
Since
ago.
then, he has really remade his life.
He did. And not a lot of people can do that.
No.
They say once you've done it, you're bound to do it again sometime, somewhere, somehow.
Right, or you're
But
never
he
going to
has
get
not.
forgiven by a
Right.
big pack of people.
No,
you know?
exactly.
Like
but
Tiger.
he did.
Yeah.
He moved on.
He did.
And he did reshape his life.
Yeah, he did.
And a whole new start.
Yeah, he
In
did.
a sense.
He did. And I think that with that, you know, again, we weren't in the room. There's only 2 people who know. Now there's only 1 person who knows who's living, what really happened in that room. I have no idea. But what I do know is that since that time, he's had 4 kids.
Right.
He has grown the WNBA immensely. He did everything and anything for his daughters. I interviewed the Kobe Bryant definitive biographer a couple nights ago, Roland Lazenby, who's coming out with a book on Magic Johnson, a bio.
Very cool.
He wrote the book on Michael Jordan, the definitive bio. Roland's great. He and I follow each other on Twitter. He came on for like 20, 25 minutes, and he shared a lot of his thoughts about Kobe. And he said that, since that time, it was just a different deal, with him. And I think this falls into the category, no matter if you're, over 60, 40, 22, 35, whatever you're 85 years old, however your era looks, JFK, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson, Thurman Munson, Princess Di, Payne Stewart, Dale Earnhardt, right? John Lennon. Yeah. It's all of that, Prince, right? It's all that rolled into one. You remember where you were when.
And we always will.
And Kobe, for my lifetime, this is the biggest death, disbelief that I've had in my lifetime.
You'll never forget it. Yeah. You'll always remember. As you said, you'll always remember exactly where you were.
And the daughter thing kills me because I'm a new dad. I'm a 4-week in dad. And,
I can't even fathom.
I can't fathom.
His wife, and I'm glad that we're not hearing a lot about the press, trying to get to talk to her, trying to, you know how the media can be, and we all work in the media, but we all know how it can be.
Yep.
And they've kind of just
they let her be,
which is a good thing, and it's more about Kobe. It's more about the baseball coach, his wife, his daughter, who played with Gianna.
Yeah.
It's been more about that. Even the pilot they've been talking about.
Oh, for sure.
And there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of, I don't know if we're ever really going to know. I imagine we will. I guess the FAA does a great job with the investigation and all that. But my question is, a helicopter, a Sikorsky, a helicopter that stature, it doesn't have an avoidance guidance system. It doesn't have a GPS there to tell you that I know you're in I'm a geek when it comes to flying.
Sure.
Matter of fact, when I heard this happened, I looked up what his helicopter, what the registration number was. I went on FlightAware and I followed that helicopter. And there's one part about halfway between until they went down. It's circled for about 15 minutes. And come to find out, they put him in a holding pattern because there was other aircraft. But then they gave him permission to move on, and he got into some really thick fog. And I guess you can become very disoriented very easy. So you may not know, you should know, but you may not know if you're going up, going down. You may not know if you're on your side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's when you can't see, you're
don't
done. Know.
And
I might be, maybe I'm totally off base because I am not a pilot, but that's just what I'm reading, what I'm hearing. And it's just a tragedy.
Well, I heard a helicopter pilot and expert on the Clay Travis show. Clay is obviously a huge guy on Fox Sports and all
that.
But Clay had him on, and he explained that, by no means should that helicopter have ever been in the air. If you looked at...
Well, the police weren't flying.
And I know that it's easy to, after the fact, say everything that should have gone down, and it's not my place to do it.
Right.
But he said it, and he said that, you kind of check the A to Z, the distance that they've always traveled. You look at time of when the clouds are going to come in. It was early morning. L.A. is weird, like central New York.
A lot of hilly areas.
Yeah, and L.A. is weird. Like in central New York, in the opposite way, you can drive in Brewerton, and it's clear. You drive in Cicero, and it's a whiteout, or vice versa because of the lake. L.A. is like that with the fog and the hills. Yeah. My best friend lived in L.A. for years, and you could drive, and then all of a sudden you're like blinded by the fog 2 miles away from Santa Monica or whatever. So it was a tough deal. And in addition to that, now there's all this safety stuff coming out. There's the fact that Vanessa and Kobe agreed to not go up together, all that sort of thing.
You're going to hear
all that stuff.
You don't know what to believe and what not to believe.
So. But my final thought on this, Skip, is if you don't mind, I wanted to spend a minute or so to
that's fine
or two. With,
that's why we're here.
With how it was covered, and
is that regarding TMZ? Or...
No.
Okay. All right.
I mean, not
because they broke the news.
Yes, not specifically TMZ, but how it was covered in today's day and age. Okay. I got into a major battle with a buddy of mine on text messages, and he was pissed because, got to run to Twitter and and release it. Right. What he and a lot of other people don't understand is that is that's our first news outlet now. TV did not break into it until it was confirmed by at least a dozen major credible sources, right? It was already out and confirmed. I'm not talking about TMZ. I'm talking about major,
that's a whole nother subject.
Major followers on Twitter, 1.1 million people. The LA Times. I mean, it was out and out good. ABC didn't break in. Fox didn't break. Fox broke in first on the network channels. CBS didn't break in. ESPN, which ABC, they go hand in hand, didn't break in. I went to all the SNY, to Yes. I went to all the New York stations, didn't break in. Went to Headline News, nothing. CNN, nothing. Nobody was breaking in. And it was already verified over 8 to 12 minutes on Twitter because I kept checking. Yeah. Still hoping, of course, by the way, that it wasn't real.
Yes, all of us.
Now, I don't have an issue if you know that it's there, that's the real story, tweeting it, because that's your job. That's Howard Cosell breaking in on Monday Night Football telling you that Thurman Munson is dead, okay? Yeah. It's the same thing today, though.
Yeah.
Twitter today is that, right? So I don't have an issue with that. Where I have an issue is ABC News rushing in after they find out and not find, I mean, they wanted to be the first to break that, who was on board. Well, they said all the Bryant daughters were on board. Wrong. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
They had to break. They had to call people and tell them that their relatives, right, were not on that plane, and then they had to backtrack and tell, oh, sorry, by the way, they were, and then it went from 5 people to 9 people.
Right.
So TMZ, sure, they got it right. Shockingly enough, they're right pretty much 100% of the time. They really are. However, the initial report was 5 people, including Koby Bryant,
Right. That's the report I saw.
But TMZ also, there wasn't a check-in with the family. You can have your own opinion on that before you release the info.
Right.
All I'm getting at is that the actual initial thing, the only thing that was correct was that Koby was on the helicopter. It wasn't 5 people they said were on it. It was 9. So what I'm telling you, I'm looking you right at the camera, journalism students, because I was one of you 20 years ago. Today's day and age is difficult because you have Facebook and Twitter. When you become a media person, with credibility, how you cover the story is this way. If you were TMZ and you had the story and you knew it was right, and you're the LA Times and you knew it was right, or you're ABC News and you think it's correct, being first isn't always best. Being first and right is best. So
having the facts.
Right. So what I'm telling you is this. If you have the story and you know it's factual and you want to tweet it because that's the #1 news outlet for us, do it. But how it should have been done was multiple people perish in helicopter crash in near Los Angeles. Included is Koby Bryant. That way you have nothing wrong in what I just said, because there's multiple people, nobody's been verified, and you know that Kobe's one of them, right? So you're not wrong anywhere.
So how did they know Koby? How did they know Koby was one of them right off the bat?
Well, again, somebody dug deep and got the report.
Helicopter crashed.
Sure.
5, 9 people.
Right.
Perished.
Somebody obviously
somebody knew that Koby was on that.
Right.
That was the most important thing at that time, was Koby was on that. I mean, they're all important.
Right. Absolutely. All the lives are equal. But I think what happened was somebody probably leaked something and they knew because they knew Koby was flying. Who was it? I have no idea. Was it a friend of the Mamba Academy? Was it a coach? Was it
could have been somebody at the airport?
It doesn't matter. Somebody knew. And all I'm saying is, if you know that it's correct and you know that you're going to be the first to break it right. Break it so that you know you're not going to have to backtrack and apologize.
It's good to know.
Yep. Koby Bryant among multiple people to perish in a helicopter crash near Los Angeles, ... More details to follow. Done. You have not made an error there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
For journalism students out there now, man.
We've all been there.
For
sure.
Mean,
especially doing what you're doing, and you've been doing sports for a good number of years, practically all your life, if not all your life.
Yeah,
and being on the air and doing all this. So,
dude, somebody.
I do the music and
listen to this. 20. I'll give you this on a final thought.
Okay.
20 seconds worth. Michael Carter Williams, Syracuse. Remember when he stole stuff out of Lord Taylor?
Yes.
I was getting hammered from people. How come you're not talking about it? How come you're not releasing it? I didn't have the facts. There was a picture that I saw that was super blurry. I couldn't tell if it was Carter Williams.
You don't know if it's him or not.
I didn't know if it was. And then when 5 or 6 people said definitely it was, they had a cleaner picture, whatever, then it became public news. Then I said it, and everybody was like, well, why didn't you just do it? Why didn't you just say it? Why didn't you just whatever? And I'm like,
credibility.
I'm like, because I would rather be 5th in line and right than be first in territory.
Right.
And look, I want to be first. I want to be right. Sure, I love the credibility. But sources say sometimes isn't always a number one.
Yeah, we've got a we've got a lot of viewers. And Dan Lansing said, I saw on ESPN where the NBA commissioner wants everyone to bounce a basketball in honor of Kobe. We're sold out of basketballs at where I work at Walgreens.
Makes sense. Again, cool global crazy impact. There's tributes. There's R.I.P. Kobe. There's R.I.P. Mamba. There's people on the sneakers. Right. 24-second shot clock. 8-second. When people of this magnitude pass as well, people want to do things instantaneously. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not going to change the NBA logo for Kobe. I'm not going to, immediately retire numbers around the league. I'm not going to. But as far as all the tributes go, I think the tributes have been amazing. I mean,
but they did retire the numbers. The number.
Well, right? League wide. League wide, and certain guys took their 8 off.
And with the shot clock.
Right. All that stuff is fine. The tribute outside the arena.
And the tribute for Gianna.
Yep. All that stuff is totally cool. It's great. But I don't go to the level of, let's immediately do the numbers and change the logo from Jerry West to Kobe to this.
Right.
Would I retire Kobe's numbers? I mean, maybe, but I don't know if I do it this fresh off of it. The part that also kills me, and I heard Shaquille O'Neal last night.
Oh my gosh!
And if that doesn't get you, I don't know what does. He's so right, because with what was left to live with Kobe, with his cultural impact in the women's game, and his daughter going probably to the WNBA, and his other daughters really having great lives, and with him, and just everything that he, the children's books, the movies, everything. Kobe Bryant, man, was going to go into the Hall of Fame soon, man, on the first ballot. And that is a day, I'm telling you, Skip, from being at the baseball induction since 2004, that is the day for guys, man. They are up there. You have a microphone. You get your speech. You get wined and dined. You're at the best hotel. Not that they haven't done that their whole lives, but it's about them, where everything is a culmination of everything. Right. Your video tribute and everything. It's just, it sucks is what it does. It sucks.
Somebody said, Mike, you're a very good sports reporter.
Oh boy! All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and we have a lot of people watching, but we got off on Kobe a little bit.
Yeah,
and rightfully so.
Yeah,
he deserves a lot of time, and it'll always be remembered.
It will be.
Just like I can remember when the Challenger blew up, where I was, what I was doing, and now this is another thing that just it's always going to be upstairs. I know exactly where I was when I saw it. So yeah, wow, Kobe.
Yeah,
wow. Wow, it's hard to follow up, man. Yeah. It's hard to follow up. All right, Brighter, Super Bowl coming up.
I can't wait. I think with this matchup with 49ers Chiefs, I think you've got a lot of things going on. You got a ton of storylines, but the number one storyline for me is Patty Mahomes. You've got Steph Curry at quarterback playing in this game. He's the most exciting player in the NFL. He's the MVP from last year, 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. True. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. I had Russell Wilson sort of there at the end of the year, and I think Mahomes is the best. I think he's a guy who can throw on the run. He can throw short. He can throw long. He can throw to the tight end. He can throw in between the seams. He can throw to the sideline. He hits the tight end great. He can hit guys, 20, 30, 50 yards down the field. He's the best, most creative quarterback in the league. He can throw on the run. And I think this guy, 3 years into the league, Skip, I think he's got an opportunity. And I know we use hyperbole and cliche all the time. We're prisoners of the moment.
Yes, we are.
But my goodness, if he wins this Super Bowl in year 3, and I think he's got a long, long way to go, and I think there's a chance he could go back. I think him and Andy Reid could form maybe a long coalition of Super Bowls, whatever the case may be. I don't know what they're going to do in the future. Nothing's promised, and we take 1 year at a time.
How old is he?
3 years in the league, 25.
Yeah, probably in mid-20s.
Patrick Mahomes has an opportunity that if he wins this Super Bowl, and, maybe if he does or doesn't, but let's say he does get Super Bowl MVP, because normally we give it to the quarterback, right? Even for an overly average game.
Yes.
He is going to now, I think, fully take the grasp from Tom Brady and be the face of the league. I think it's that big of a game for him. Meanwhile, Andy Reid's back in the big game, second time. He was in the conference title game 7 times, 5 with the Eagles, 2 with the Chiefs. He's now back in the big game. This is a huge deal for him. He wins. This cements him into the Hall of Fame. The Chiefs, amazing story. AFL, original team. Lamar Hunt, the founder of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
He's the one why we have Super Bowl, because his son was playing with a Super Ball.
That
and he said,
know.
"Oh, Super Bowl," right? And he's a part of the Foolish Club with Ralph Wilson and Al Davis, all that stuff. So That's a great thing. And they haven't been there in 50 years. Then you have the Niners. They're a trademark franchise. If they win, they're going to tie the Steelers and Patriots for the most wins in the Super Bowl ever at 6. So you got a lot going on. You've got Jimmy Garoppolo, the understudy of Tom Brady. You got the 2 best tight ends in the league going at it. You got the best defense in the league going at it with San Fran trying to figure out Mahomes. This is unbelievable. Kansas City, one of the fastest teams we've ever seen. I like KC 26-23. I think it's a flip of the coin game. If you're a betting man or a betting woman, good luck. I would stay the hell away from it. But I'm taking 26-23 Chiefs, Skip, because I think, and again, this is just a prediction.
I'm going to write this down.
Do it. I think that this is the time for all of the people with KC. I just think sometimes it's time. You know, like it was the Cubs' time in 2016. The rain delay happened for a reason. The break in the Billy Goat, 108 years. It was time for the Red Sox too. Sorry, I just puked in my mouth. But you know,
why? Because you said the Red Sox.
Yes.
Come on, Mike.
But seriously, it's the Chiefs' time. They haven't been to this thing in 50 years, and I'll tell you what, they have one of the best fan bases in the league. They play at Arrowhead Stadium. Andy Reid, Mahomes. I mean, how can they not win this thing, right? I mean, it's there for them, and I just think it would be phenomenal. I really do, and I'm so pumped for this game. I'm so fired up. Patrick Mahomes is a freaking joy to watch, man. And, you know, buckle up, man, because I think this game has potential to be an epic deal, man. I think we could be sitting here.
Not a blowout. No. It's going to be a good game.
Well, it could be.
And the Chiefs could come out on top as much
I mean, look, this is sports. Anything could happen.
I know.
Well,
how many years did we watch Buffalo get actually their asses kicked?
Well, 3 of the 4. Take it easy.
Okay,
I mean, the first Super Bowl they lost, on the last kick with Norwood because they couldn't get it down far enough, and the hash mark was where
it wasn't it wasn't close. It was like a blowout.
It was a blowout after half in one of them. 2 Super Bowls was a blowout. Obviously, got to take Kelly's injury into consideration.
Yes, that is true.
But Super Bowl 25 was the one that they had to win, and it was Belichick. Belichick was a D coordinator and ran a 2-9 gap and said, Thurman Thomas, try to beat us, and they let him run.
Super Bowl 25, and here we are at 50.
Dude, Persian Gulf, Whitney Houston. I mean, think about the things that were going on there, man. I was 12 years old, man. You were what, 20? I mean, it was, it's amazing.
Probably. And that's being generous.
Just got your drinking license. Got your drinking license.
Had my sheriff's ID still. No, I don't know if were you remember sheriff's ID or no? No. Never mind. I guess
you asked me to remember what Archie
really
Bunker
dating.
Episode I can remember over here. This guy, huh?
That's really dating myself. But I'm excited about it too.
I think it's gonna be great.
And what do you do for the Super Bowl? You stay home and watch it?
So
or is the wife going to kick you out so her and the baby can have some peace and quiet?
No, my best friend's aunt and uncle have had kind of like this quasi-family neighborhood party type thing. I go over there for the first half. My best buddy's going, so we'll kind of chat a little bit and catch up, and I'll probably have a couple of cold ones, and I'll go home and watch the second half, because I have to be, the thing is, I can't be in a house with a lot of people who don't give a flying rip about the game. I want to see the commercials. And they're talking about this, and they're talking about the grandkids, and they're talking about how good the Doritos are. And so I got to listen to the TV. I got to be on social. I got to be doing videos.
You're a sports guy.
I'm a sports guy, so I got to be on it like a fly on what. I can't be at a party for 4 hours.
I enjoy watching the game, but I also enjoy all the media around it, all the fun commercials and stuff. So
yeah.
And by the way, they pulled the Mr. Peanut commercial because of the Kobe. I don't know if there was a thing about Mr. Peanut was going to die, and it was something about a commercial that was going to be in the third quarter, but
gotcha.
They've pulled that. Planners has pulled that.
By the way, next year, why don't we record a commercial and send it in and just say, listen, we're not going to pay $1.2 million to air this for 30 seconds. This is good enough. Just air it.
Just air it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
So you watching it here, Man Cave, Zach? What's going on?
Oh yeah. No, we're going over to my sister-in-law's house.
Oh, good.
So normally we have something here. My wife's side of the family's pretty crazy.
Cool.
Mine's pretty subdued.
Cool.
But
it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a blast.
It's fun, and we have our own little board, and we have everything going.
Good.
It is what it is.
Good.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's going to be a good one.
I think you got everything you want, and every year it doesn't always happen, but these are the 2 best teams. I mean, the Ravens did what they did, but they were kind of gimmicky, and Lamar, and you get that one team to figure it out. The Titans figured it out. They used the Bills' defensive blueprint. The Niners, Saints, and Seahawks, I was kind of juggling the balls all in the air, and then at the end, I was like, man, the Seahawks and Niners, I decided the team that won that game in the last week was going to be the best team. And the Niners won. They got home field advantage. Had they lost, Green Bay would have gotten home field. Right. Seattle would have won the division, and the Niners would have gotten the 6th seed. That's how crazy that was. So I love this matchup. It's trademark teams. Chiefs are due. Mahomes is a stud. You see that wizard right there, that guy? He's looking to do tricks.
Yeah, it's the Cubs, no.
Yeah, well, that's Patrick Mahomes right there. He's a wizard with the football.
I love it.
He's a wizard.
I love it.
By the way, the Bills and the old regime could have taken Patrick Mahomes, but
Nope, they didn't.
We don't have 6 hours tonight, people.
No, we don't. You know what? It's going to be a big weekend, though, because we do have the big game.
Yeah.
You know, we can't say Super Bowl. Well, I guess we could in a podcast.
Sure.
We talk Super Bowl.
Sure.
And that's fine. We can say whatever the
Not
hell
on
we
radio.
want.
We can do whatever we want, man.
But in radio, we have to call it the big game.
Oh, sure you do.
The big game.
The big tournament when it comes
big
March.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the big tournament.
Yeah, I used to love getting
all
that copy.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, remember, don't say March Madness on the air. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah.
Or it's like, you can't say Super Bowl.
Thanks, my first day. Appreciate it. Yeah. First day.
Yeah, how long have I been doing this and I still get that?
First
day. Make sure you don't say Super Bowl.
Hey, everyone, it's Super Bowl time. Don't say it.
Yeah, because somebody has to trademark on that.
I know.
Or the copyright. So it's just, we can't say, you know that. But for those viewing, we can't say that.
Yeah.
And
First day.
Crazy. First day. It's going to be a crazy weekend, though, because when it comes to sports, we got the Orange and Duke. Saturday night, tip-off at 8 o'clock. That's going to be wild.
Yeah.
They say there's over 31,000 tickets sold. I think the record was broken last year with Duke. If I'm not mistaken, it was 35.
Yeah, they've gone a few times, like the Jerry McNamara game back in 06 with Nova broke, and then when Duke came in, the Duke games over and over broke. And I remember the first time they played there, this is how crazy memory-wise is, but the first time Duke came in, Boeheim didn't foul. Duke was up down 3. If you're a Syracuse basketball fan, you know exactly where I'm going with this. And Rashad Suleiman had the ball and dribbled up and nailed it at the buzzer and went to OT. But Duke and Syracuse, man, they have had great theater. I mean, it's not Duke-Georgetown in the 80s. I know a lot of, again, prisoner of the moment. People want to think it is. Duke and Cuse.
Those days are done.
Yeah, they
I
are.
know that. They're behind us.
But Cuse and Duke isn't Duke Carolina. It will never be because of location and all that. Duke Carolina is the rivalry. It will always be in college basketball, especially because they're so close at Tobacco Road. But for everything that Duke Cuse could have been when we entered this ACC thing, been unbelievable. Coach K, Syracuse, Boeheim, the connection with those two guys, USA basketball, the games they've played, the jacket toss at Cameron, the games at the Dome. The John Gillen bank shot.
My gosh.
So it's been really, really great. I mean, really, really great.
What about the game the other night, last night?
Oh, I know.
That was like, I was doing a podcast last night, and of course.
You're always working, man.
Bad timing. But
yeah, sorry, I just yawned. I'm not bored. I just yawned. I don't know what happened. What came over me?
I do that.
Is it the 4-week-old thing? Is that why I did that?
It could be.
Okay.
Could be. Are you sleeping at night?
Off and on, I am. Yeah.
Okay.
She's on a program. She's on a diaper program.
All right. Yeah. Do you use, do they still use cloth diapers?
We use those Pampers.
I don't know. There's a couple of guys
things,
here that we don't know shit about that, but the ladies would definitely tell us. Your wife,
yeah, it's the Pamper Plus, whatever the thing is. I gotta tell you, Skip.
But back in the day, they used to have like diaper service, and somebody would give you that as a gift,
right?
And you get the cloth diapers, and then when you use them all up, you put them out on the front step in a stinky bag. And you'd like to be that guy to drive around and pick up the shitty diapers.
Now they make the garbage cans where you put the bag in, it doesn't stink. So like you put
what
the
are
diaper
they?
in,
Diaper genie.
You load it in. There's a little twist thing. It's a lock.
Called a diaper genie.
I mean, technology is ridiculous. Not only is technology today giving us what we're doing now, technology gives us diaper-free stink in a garbage can. You just do a little turn, you pull it out. I had to pull that son of a bitch out today. I was dying. My kid did a poop rocket right on the changing table today. It was all over the place.
Well, that's part of being a dad.
She was basically created her own enchanted forest, right? So she's sliding up and down in the thing, going down the slide, poop, pee. She got it in her hair. So yeah, I mean, the challenges are there, but it's, is it weird that it hasn't set in? Because my buddies told me
it hasn't set in.
I know she's
4 weeks old.
I know she's my kid, and I've been doing it, and it's been rewarding, and it's really, really great. But sometimes I have those moments, like you're driving from home. Like I came here tonight, and I was like, okay, cool. Caitlin's, and then my daughter's in there. Okay, because it's still so early,
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine who had twin girls when his oldest girl was like 2. And he told me that when he and his wife were just doing the whole like WTF, like I don't know how I can do this much longer with the little ones. He said that it hadn't set in that he had twins because it was like, where's the other one? Oh, she's on, there's one on one boob, one on the other, so. Oh, wait, there's a third kid upstairs. She's just watching cartoons. Okay. So some people it sets in quicker, but it's been cool, man. It's been wild.
It's your first, right?
Yeah. It's been wild.
Okay. Everything's good though.
Yeah.
Just need that break every once in a while.
She's been growing and she's into the formula.
Everybody's healthy. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. We're a couple of guys talking about kids.
Well, that's okay.
But, I've been there. I have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
and we have Zach.
Yep.
So, you know, been there.
Yeah.
Been there. It's,
Yep.
you know.
And girls are trouble once they hit 13, right?
Girls are trouble
right.
once they hit 13.
All right.
For a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
When they start getting
So that's
older.
the end of our kids segment.
No, we went for, you guys started talking about something sports.
Yeah, we
did. Ended up,
Well, it was SU Duke. We were going on
we
SU
were talking
Duke for a while.
about Duke, and then the
You know,
game last night, losing 71-70.
Right. And I don't know what the hell happened at the end with, like, you know, so the Clemson kid, the big kid comes in, he tries to get it, and he twirls around, does a pirouette, loses out of bounds. They put time on the clock. I don't know why
what was that all about?
I don't know why the hell it takes these referees to figure it out. You know, I got to put this coaster down. I can't, I always got to have something in my hands.
They're fidgety things.
That was actually pretty good. I almost lined it right up.
I saw that. That was really good.
So I don't know what the hell happened. So they put the time on the clock, and then the last play call, I don't think Elijah Hughes did what he was supposed to, because Boeheim came up and said, like, dude, like, what was that? And he just caught it. And
I saw the replay because I was down here, but afterwards when I played it back upstairs, it was like, what was that? You could read his lips.
Yeah.
You know.
And Boeheim's great out of a timeout. He's always been, and he had extra time. So I don't know what that play call was. The reality of the situation, though, Skip, is that Clemson's not very good. That was still a road game. It's very hard to win in conference anytime on the road. Anywhere, anytime. A-10, Big Ten, Pac-12,
Doesn't matter who you are.
ACC, Mountain West, doesn't matter. WCC, it doesn't matter where you play. But that game could hurt them big because they were coming back a little bit. They were on the scene. And if there's a game or two where you look, hey, post-January or post, Jan 1, Jan 5, Jan 10, whatever date, ooh, this is going to go in the bad loss column. And they have a couple quadrant 1 wins. They have some of the out of conference losses. They those are going to hurt them because they didn't improve the resume with Oklahoma State and with Penn State and Georgetown. They lost every one of them, but they've got at Vatech. They have at Virginia. Those wins in the back pocket. If they can win Saturday, that's going to be a huge deal. And we all know that if Cuse finishes a few games over 500 and they're around 500 in the league, and there's now 68 teams in the tournament, you can't possibly tell the committee because of this and because of Syracuse and the brand and Boeheim and everything that goes with it, and the fact are there really 68 teams better than Syracuse? When the committee votes on that Sunday, probably the answer is no. So they could get in, and then if they get to be a 10 seed or they're a play-in team, they become that, they're going to be on the middle finger tour again. And it's going to be, I don't want to play Syracuse because nobody can prepare for the zone. And we're going to go through the same thing we did in 2013 and 16 and 18. And that's fine because it's fun. Oh,
my gosh.
It's fun.
I love hearing your perspective on all this. It's like, wow.
It's fun. But it is. It's fun. Yeah. March is fun. March is fun because, around here, the snow disappears. And first day.
Oh, my gosh. First day. Yeah, let me read the memo.
So it's, what does it say? Tell me what
it says.
You got fined?
No March Madness.
Oh, man. You got to give up this bobblehead for saying that.
Don't. Zach will be very upset if that bobblehead disappears.
I know.
That or the Tim Tebow one or
the
salt potato one that's over here.
Yeah. So it'll be good. I mean, I'm looking forward to Syracuse had a lot of tough games, man. Louisville left, Duke left. Florida State. Florida State is really, really good. Leonard Hamilton's been a great recruiter. He has not been able to get to the Final Four an extra step. The ACC's way, way down. Carolina sucks. Syracuse, a bubble team. Duke's the class of the league. Virginia's down a little bit. I think they're going to be okay in the end. I love Gonzaga, Kansas, Michigan State. I think it's a shaky year for college basketball. I think this is one of the worst years from a product standpoint of college basketball, but it's also wide open. You could throw about 30 tokens in the jar, shake it around. I think there's 30, Skip.
Okay.
I think there's 30 teams in basketball right now, college hoops, that can win the whole thing.
Really?
30. Yeah. And I could list, I could probably list over half of them right now.
Wow.
Easy.
30 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gonzaga, I think Michigan State, I think Kentucky, I think Duke.
Okay.
I would put Kansas in there easy. I would put Texas. I would put Nova. I would put Dayton. I would put Oregon. It's funny. 3.5 weeks ago, I would have told you Washington.
Get rid
of that one.
No.
But I do. I think there's a lot of teams that are in there that could win the whole darn thing, and it's way wide open. So, any comments?
Well, we got a lot of people watching.
Okay.
Somebody said you're a good sports guy.
Yeah, you told me that. What else are they saying? You're just leaving the bad stuff out.
No, they're saying is watching.
Oh, yeah.
Is watching. That's what.
Well, we open it up. I mean, we open it up to questions too.
Yeah, if anybody has a question for Mike, you're talking sports, just type it in there, and we'll see it on this.
Yeah.
Side. Hey, are you coming back this year? The Mets?
So I don't have an answer, yes or no. I have not talked to anybody over there.
I got an email that There was an email that went out.
I didn't get it. I didn't get any email.
Well, I don't know. They sent an email asking if you'd like to come back. Just say yes or no.
Oh yeah,
and I said yes, of course.
I don't know. I don't think I'm on that email.
But I don't. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
you're probably on a different one.
So I will tell you that I love doing it, and if
you do a great job
they
at
want
it.
me back,
host.
Thank you. If they want me back, and I talk with my wife like we did last year,
bring the baby.
And
baby will be a few months old by that point.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
3 months.
5,
4
yeah.
months.
I mean, opening day could be what? 4.
It's April 17th.
My kid's a New Year's Eve baby, so imagine.
Oh, okay.
Imagine those parties.
That's
huh?
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
But I want to bring Coop to bark in the park though this year, and a lot of things. But But I mean, if they want me back, I'll talk with the wife, and I'd love to come back. I love doing it. I love being on a microphone. I love talking with people. I love baseball. I love
we
summer.
Have a good time.
So if they want me back, we'll talk to the wife, and then it's not going to be a hard decision for me.
I'm usually up in the press box, and they're saying, you better send it down to Mike. He's with so-and-so. What?
Yeah.
What? Oh, Mike. Yeah. Yes. Let's go to our on-field host.
That guy.
What's Lindsley doing? Anybody, give me those binoculars.
That guy.
Who's he got? I don't know. It's a guy with a number. I can't see the number.
It's fun. It's fun.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. What do you think? I know it's still early, but we have a lot of big players that have signed minor league contracts.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's roster development, right? And we see a lot of guys at this level, which, you can talk to Jason Smorrell. My old saying is that's why you go to the games, to see guys, jump up. And I mean, last year and the year before, I mean, to be able to see Vlad Guerrero up front, to be able to see Vic Robles up front.
Cool. But then you see the big guys too that have on the other end of their career.
Sure. The Rajay Davises of the world, who
greatest guy in the world.
Awesome guy and hits the game tying home run in the World Series. Like what? And then he's here. So yeah, I mean you see a lot of those guys, and I think that I think the Mets have a lot of great things going on at the level above that in terms of hiring a new skipper who I think is gonna be a good fit. You've got Pete Alonso's a monster, and then you've got a lot of other things kind of coming in waves up that way. And listen, I'm everybody knows, I've admitted a million times because you're not gonna hide it. I grew up a Yankee fan. At 5-year-old, I was a Don Mattingly guy. Mattingly and Jeter are my two favorite guys.
Though? Come on.
I love the New York Yankees. But I'm not oblivious to what it's like in the postseason when the Mets are in it and when they're great. And my first World Series of my lifetime was Billy Buckner. And I was a Yankee fan. So who do you think I rooted for in '86? I rooted for the Mets. I didn't want the Red Sox to win.
I get it. You're definitely down on the Sox.
I watched upstairs in my parents' room. I was 7 years old, and they had the black and white TV up in the corner on the dresser, this old dresser. I mean, old dresser from the 1800s. I have no idea. But it was an old, sorry, Mom and Dad. But the TV was up there, and I watched Game 6, and I laid on the floor in a sleeping bag, and I stayed up and watched Buckner, the ball go through his legs. That was my first World Series. So I love being the on-field guy. I think there's going to be a lot more fun. The ballpark's going through some renovations, but
bigger seats now.
And Major League Baseball has been wild in the offseason, man, with the Astros thing
and the
all
whole
the signings
cheating scandal, and that just kept snowballing. And now who went to
Dusty Baker gets hired by the Astros.
I knew that. I was having a brain
skipper.
fart.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's in his 70s.
You can have a few brain farts at 50. Okay, it's okay. It's fine.
50. Thank you. But he's in his 70s.
He is, but
and the players love him, from what I understand.
They do. I thought they should have gone with Buck Showalter.
Really?
Yeah, because I think Buck is a good cleanup guy. I think he's going to go in and just be like, no nonsense, here it is, here's how we handle this, and here's how you're going to talk to the media. Dusty Baker's cool. He's like the cool grandpa. Buck Showalter's like, I'm going to kick your ass if you take one more cookie, grandpa. And I think they need that grandpa in house.
Maybe.
Let me say something on the Astros, if you don't mind.
Shoot.
The Astros situation is not about the steroid scandal. It's not about Pete Rose. It's not about Shoeless Joe Jackson. It's not about Gaylord Perry's spitball. It's about this. It's about their scandal. I don't have an issue with stealing signs, the human way. I don't have an issue with pine tar. I don't have a problem with deflating footballs. I don't have a problem with inflating basketballs or footballs or licking your hands and put it on the baseball. What I have problem with this Astros thing, this is an unprecedented cheating, and here's why. You took a technological camera in center field.
I was going to say that. Yep.
You record signs like literally zoomed in, split second, you transfer them to another camera in the tunnel next to the dugout. Then you have guys coming out and being the choir boys and the trash can guys or the whoever guys to be able to give the signals out. If you don't think that matters, you are crazy. This is not Skip. This is not 1951.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Mike.
But there's people who don't get it. This is not 1951 when Bobby Thompson hits a home run and some bozo had the telescope in left field going like this. What do you think he did? Text and tweet somebody that it was a fastball, for Christ's sake?
No, you're right. You're right.
So he knew it was a fastball. He still had to hit Ralph Branca's fastball. Most people knew indirectly that Mariano Rivera was throwing a cutter. Wow. Hello. Nobody could still hit the cutter except for Luis Gonzalez and a couple people here and there, right? So, but what's my point? My point is that this is not Bobby Thompson in a fastball. This is a pitch sequence. One guy to the next, change up to fastball, splitter to slider to fastball, two-seamer, four-seamer, knowing full well what's coming on a pitch-to-pitch basis. And if you don't think that's a big deal,
that is a big deal.
From 1-0 to 2-1 to 3-2 to home run or whatever, you're kidding yourself. This is the most unprecedented cheating in the history of baseball, and the Astros deserve. I thought they got off easy, to be honest with you.
A lot of people think that.
Screw them.
A lot of people think exactly what you're thinking.
I'm glad Garrett Cole's gone. That's the ultimate penalty right there.
$10,000 a pitch when he throws, right? But anyways,
10,000, please. It's more than that, isn't it?
It's got to be. I don't know. It's up there. $10,000 a pitch.
I'd pretty much go anywhere for $324, huh? I'd even come down here for a couple $1 million, huh? Jeez, not that I got that tonight.
I can't do that. But hey, somebody was asking, who do you like for the Super Bowl, which you already talked about. You're talking about the Chiefs.
Yeah, we mentioned it not too long ago. I like KC 26-23. I think it's a total coin flip, and it's if you're betting, good luck. But I'm going with Mahomes here. I'm going with the Wizard. I'm going with it's time for KC. 50 years since they've been in it. 50 years since they won it. The Lamar Hunt family. Clark Hunt in there now. Lamar's widow's there. Lamar created the Super Bowl with the name. Mahomes, it's his time. Andy Reid, it's his time. Sometimes it's just time for people. I think it's KC's time.
Do you think, backing it up a little bit to the cheating scandal, Altuve was wearing, they showed a couple of, it looked like a wire.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, and maybe something on the pants and all that stuff. And now, you wonder if Aroldis Chapman smiled because Altuve knew it was coming. I don't know. I don't know. What's going to be really crazy, though,
it was so well choreographed.
Oh,
so that's the big deal.
Yeah.
That's, you talk, it's the mechanical side. Watching baseball, and you can look and say, oh, I see a sign. You can steal it. That's fine.
Yes, it is.
That's fine. And you as a player should know better not to, make sure they can't see your signs.
There's a guy in the Hall of Fame. His name is Gaylord Perry. Okay?
Right.
It's the spitball, right? And he did the whole rub thing.
Please don't.
No, I didn't spit on it. I didn't spit on it.
No, I know.
My hands are clean, too, because I'm a new dad, so hands are always clean.
Oh, yeah, you got probably got hand sanitizer all over the
washing
house.
all the time. Yeah, I think.
And the wife's like, Mike.
It's been a couple hours since I've had poop.
Don't touch her. Don't touch her.
No.
Wash your hands?
I'm the primary diaper changer.
Okay.
Primary feeder outside of, because I don't have the other thing that she wants. I'm good. I'm a germaphobe, man. So this is good for me. I'm the right man for the job. But Gaylord Perry's in the Hall of Fame. Do I think his spitball was an absolute wicked difference maker? I don't. Much like the fact that, and I know somebody's going to ask it right now, so I'm just going to answer it right now. What would I do with the steroid guys, right? I'd put them all in.
What about Pete Rose?
I'd put him in too. Now, I got in an argument a couple weeks ago about this. Pete Rose, I understand, bet on baseball. I understand the ramifications. I understand that went from Bart Giamatti to Faye Vincent.
Sure.
I understand that he had an opportunity to come clean, say I'm sorry, and he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame by now. I get that. Rose was an ass. He wrote a book about it. He wouldn't admit to it. I know what happened, and I know that he probably bet. He said, "Oh, I never bet, against my baloney." He did it all. If he bet once or bet in any kind of way, he was betting for and against. There's no question, and he impacted games. And I understand that he probably did a lot of this as player manager, where I was always under the impression that he did it as a manager, and the vote for the Hall of Fame is as for the player. If he was player manager, man, okay. But again, Rose as player manager while he was betting. This is post Pete Rose would have been a Hall of Famer anyway. That's my new thing with people. Folks, I would put him in and put something on the plaque. Bonds in, A-Rod in. And I can't stand any of these guys, by the way. Clemens in, A-Rod in.
Why don't you like A-Rod?
Palmeiro, I couldn't stand his attitude. He was a total a-hole.
Pompous ass.
Total a-hole to me in the Yankee clubhouse. Right. But A-Rod, Clemens, Bonds, Palmeiro, put them all in. And the Hall of Fame will never do this. I would put him in a steroid wing, and I would put everything about the steroid era in there, including moving Bud Selig's plaque from the Great Hall where it belongs. That guy shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But you put it all in there, and you put it as an education piece so that little Johnny, Roger, Ronnie, whoever goes in there 50 years from now, and he goes up to his Uncle Skip, and he goes, how come, what's the deal? How come these guys are in the Hall of Fame? I read in my history book or my history iPad, whatever the heck they're going to do by then, that Barry Bonds cheated. How come he's in the Hall of Fame? Well, now you don't have to ask Uncle Skip. You don't have to ask Uncle Johnny or Mike. Read. It's an education piece. And if you don't want to do that, fine. Put them all in the Great Hall. Put Shoeless Joe in. Put them all in there.
I don't think they put all that up.
But that's what they should do, and put it on the plaque what they did, so that we have it in place, because it was baseball history, and you cannot remove it. The steroid era was what it was. They turned a blind eye. They wanted people back in the seats after the strike. It was what it was. Put them in. If they were Hall of Famers originally, put them in the Hall of Fame. Let me ask you a question. You're a baseball fan. You're a diehard fan.
I love it.
Can you write a history book on baseball without Clemens? Most Cy Youngs ever. Can you write the history book?
Absolutely not.
Okay. No. Can you write the history book without Barry Bonds, who, by the way, I saw him hit his 50th homer as a mutant in Wrigley Field?
Well, good for you.
Can you?
No, you cannot.
Okay. Can you write the history book without Alex Rodriguez?
No.
Can you write the history book without Pete Rose?
No.
Correct. Can you write it without?
So it doesn't matter if what you're saying is Pete Rose is not in the Hall, but yet you cannot. It's still a major part of history.
Can you write the history book without Shoeless Joe Jackson?
No.
Nope. So
none of those.
I look at the elite of the elites. Let's say if Allen Iverson was the Pete Rose of basketball. Let's see he did so. Okay. Well, can you write the history of basketball without Allen Iverson? How about this? What happens if Koby Bryant did what Pete Rose did at the last 2 years of his career? Wow. Do you not put Kobe in the Hall of Fame? Can you write the history of basketball without Koby Bryant?
Absolutely
no, you can't.
Same thing.
They all belong in the Hall of Fame.
I got you.
All of them.
It's good thinking, brother.
All of them.
Mike Lindsley.
We're up almost, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can go as long as you want. Dom Leo says hello.
Oh, good.
You know Dom?
I do.
Yeah, everybody knows Dom.
I do.
Dom is one of the greatest guys you'll ever want to meet.
As was another Leo.
Oh.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
By the way, I have I could probably go 10 more minutes. I told the wife 8:45, 9. We've been going for an hour already.
Poor baby, she hasn't had her diaper changed.
Oh,
you better get home.
Oh, no. I changed like 4 or 5 of them today. My wife changed 1, I think.
Okay.
1 or 2.
All
yeah.
Right. But she's so young, at that age of what, 4 weeks?
4 weeks, man. She's pooping all the time.
They're peeing and pooping.
Pooping and peeing all the time.
All the time.
Slipping slides.
It's not like when you get older, you go once a day. Never mind.
That's false. Yeah.
No.
It's actually great because when my kid is up to go to the bathroom at 4, I'm like, cool, I got to go too. And I'm not really I was never a big sleeper. I've had actually really, really a hard time sleeping the last, 15, 20 years. And radio had nothing to do with it. But the thing that really, really, really throws you for a loop is like the on again, off again sleeping. Because you're like,
that's hard.
If you don't sleep,
dude, you'll get tired.
Yeah, man,
that's worse.
But like, it's weird because I was an on again, off again sleeper before the kid, and now I feel like I'm sleeping more soundly because I'm so tired from during the day and just the in and out and hustling and going nuts. I mean, you're going from packages delivered to dishes to everything's new and my wife's getting some rest right now. I can't take a shower because the kid's right here and I want to record a podcast and the kid starts crying, then the kid's asleep, then Cooper's humping my leg. I mean, I can't do.
You gotta get that dog fixed.
Well, no, he's a gold and he's great. He can do whatever he wants.
They're awesome.
In fact, I'd rather have it. We've talked about this a million times on and off air. I'd rather have a dog who's Banana Land. They make you laugh. They want unconditional love, and that's all you have to do. But like, dude, it changes your life because it's nonstop and it affects everything in your life nonstop. People who are coming over, the mail, what's going on, when to take showers, when are you going to eat, everything. You got to clean. You got to do, like today. I cleaned the I went up and vacuumed the entire upstairs. Right, dude. Okay. I'm a machine, man.
Once you start, you don't stop.
Machine.
I'm the same way. My wife would disagree, but once I have to get motivated to do it but once I hit that
little kick in the ass,
kick in the ass. But once I start,
you're going.
I'm going.
I'm like that. I'm like that literally I wake up that way. I'm like that in the middle of the night. There was one day where I actually got up right at 5:30 and I was already up and I was like, I'm just going to start working.
Yeah. I love getting up early.
Which is fine.
When I
you
can.
know, my favorite thing to do when I get up early is play golf. But
there you go.
You get up in the morning here. Right now it's
you're not
cold.
gonna
It's
play
garbage.
golf.
Not a lot of winter this year so far. But I will say
just jinxed it, dude.
that, I don't think...
Well, you know what? It's
I don't
going to
think
be
you
in
can
the 30s.
jinx anything in this town.
No, it's going to be cold tonight. But down the road, we're talking about 30s, maybe even 40.
Keep going.
It's like, okay,
Dude,
January is
That's
done.
what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
We've got 79 days, and we'll have opening day.
Plenty of time to catch up, though, huh? Those marches, you never know.
Oh, I know. That's okay,
You know?
Grandpa. That's what my dad used to say. There's still a lot to go.
Yeah.
The lakes are still warm.
Get off my lawn, kid.
Pretty much.
Get off my snowbank, man.
Pretty much. Yeah, absolutely.
But it'll be, I love,
Get your sleep,
back to what you're saying, though. I mean, spring training and all that. And, when the Masters.
We're going, by the way.
When you start to hear, you are?
Yeah.
When you start to hear.
March 7th. Go ahead.
Hello, friends. And you start to hear that. You're like, ooh, it's spring, it's golf, it's swimming, it's parks, it's baseball, it's the racetrack
the
and
fresh air.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool.
It's sunshine.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we're heading to West Palm on March 7th.
Oh, beautiful.
So we're going to take in the Mets and the Nationals.
That's awesome,
man. For a couple of days.
Go see Corbin. You go see.
Yeah. We're gonna do both. I've been in contact with our friends, both that have been here, and they know we're coming. So
cool, man.
We expect to have a good time, and Zach is so excited.
He's gonna love that.
He loves it, and it's all about him.
I have a best buddy of mine who the same guy who I'm going to be watching the Super Bowl with for a little bit. He and his buddies from LA go every year to Scottsdale. Yeah. And just, lay in the sun and watch some baseball and drink tons of beers.
Remember when Zach Walters played for...
I do. God, what a year.
Yeah, I know.
That
seriously.
year.
Now he's
Sousa,
in the Air Force.
Walters. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
He joined the Air Force.
That was a great team, man.
Yeah.
They won the division.
Yes.
And then everybody got called up, and then they lost to Pawtucket.
We had it wasn't
3.
our team.
I know, man.
Guys we had never seen before.
Steven Sousa. I mean, he's, you want to talk about great stories in sports, man.
Yeah. He ended up going to, what, did he go to the Marlins?
Cubbies.
And now he's with the Cubs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he went, Diamondbacks.
Tampa. He was in the Diamondbacks.
Right.
He was
in Tampa as well. Yeah. And he was, he'd gotten injured and all that, but he also made that unbelievable catch.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Which was unreal.
For the no-hitter, right?
Yes. It was incredible. Yes, so I look at he's one of the great stories of the last several years.
That, I heard.
Yes.
Somebody, who was pitching?
I just think.
Do you recall?
I do recall, and I'm having an old man moment right now.
So you're having one of mine.
I am.
Oh my God, dude.
Is that Jordan Zimmerman?
Was it? I don't know.
Look that up. Sousa catch? I'll do it. I'll do it faster than you. I guarantee it.
Because you're younger and you can handle these.
No, I'm just
gadgets.
I'm on my phone 9.5 hours a day, man.
Dom Leo says, say hello to Zach. Say hello to Mike. Looking forward to opening day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no
you
kidding.
and everybody else.
And Dom says
Jordan
can't spell.
Zimmerman no hitter. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, you did it.
What's up, y'all?
All right.
Yep.
All right.
There it is right there. It's the play. It's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was incredible. And Jordan Zimmerman's sense has been like just, his career is, the contract's terrible. But that's what happens at sports,
I know. What about, what do you think, real quick before we call it a night?
Sure.
Bryce Harper, man, I tell you, he made that move to the Phillies. And
but you know what?
Maybe he doesn't care. He's making all that money.
Well, but
he's where he wants to be.
But Bryce Harper took way less money. I mean, Bryce Harper for 13 years and $330, he left a lot of money on the table. He could have signed an 8-year deal or a 10-year deal, been a free agent again at 36.
Still,
and got
what are you going to do with all the money he does get? Come on, seriously?
But Skip, you know how the world we're in.
Yeah.
All these guys want more, right? What I'm getting at is
never enough, right?
Well, but there's a lot that goes into it. There's ego. There's highest contract. There's the agent, Scott Boras.
It's all ego.
Okay.
I think it goes back to ego.
But 13 and $330. I mean, look, he's not going to have problems paying his light bills. That's not what I'm getting at. But he left a lot on the table. He could have signed a 10-year deal for $340, $350, and then gone back and signed another 3-4-year deal for like another $40, $50 if he had a good year in the end. If he had an Adrian Beltre type year at 37, right? Or 36, he could have gotten more years.
Right.
But here's the thing with Bryce. I give him credit, and I like Bryce. And it goes back to when he was here. I was the first interview that I was
very
the
cool.
first one who interviewed him. I'm a big Bryce Harper guy. I want a Philly Yankee World Series really, really bad. I want a Yankee Dodger World Series first, but I want Yankees Phillies in the World Series second to that, with obviously one team winning. But But the Phillies, I mean, Didi Gregorius, Joe Girardi, they spent so much money, Real Muto, all these guys that they brought in, Harper, that they had to keep spending, Skip, because you're already into it, man. John Middleton there, you already dropped $570 million in 2 years. You got to keep spending, man, because you got to get to the playoffs. The Nats won the World Series. They're in your division. The Mets are a threat to win the wild card, or a wild card. The Braves ain't going anywhere. They're a really, really good team. And I got news for you. A lot of people are hammering on Jeter right now.
Right.
But the Marlins have got a lot in the tank, and they could be a factor in the future. Not right now, but they're not going to be
coming up.
Yeah, and plus baseball, dude, let's face it, in a 4-game series, how many times do we see the wicked inferior team steal 3 or 4 in September and kill somebody's pennant hopes? It happens all the time, right?
That's true.
So that division is very, very interesting, and I think that Philly had to do that. But I think Bryce is going to be okay there. Bryce has a personality where it can handle the Philadelphia pressure and the craziness, and if and when because I believe they're going to win one in his time. I don't know how many, but I think they're going to win at least one. When they do it, he's going to go down as Bobby Clark. He's going to go down as Mike Schmidt. He's going to go down as any of the Philadelphia stars. He's going to go down as Dr. J. He's going to go down as Moses Malone because of the Philadelphia thing and how hungry they are for it. I'm telling you, man, that guy, he knew what he wanted. He went out and got it. He has his family. He has a newborn. He's got his wife's obviously, on board with it. He picked a place to be because he doesn't want to go through the free agent thing again. And for that, I give him credit.
Wow.
I give him credit.
It's been a great night.
Thanks,
Informative,
dude.
man.
I love being here.
I just let you go. No, it's awesome.
You could leave the room. I could just, do a monologue if you want.
This is always here.
I did warn my wife that the third time I come back, Skip's asked me to move in on the weekends.
But then you got to feed the dogs, you got to vacuum. There's so much, just
like my regular life, man.
Welcome here anytime, dude.
Yeah, brother.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast, dude.
Yeah,
appreciate you,
Mike Lindsley, everybody. Look at that. Learned a lot about everything. We talked about Kobe. We talked about the Mets.
Super Bowl, baseball.
We talked about Super Bowl. Yep. We talked all about baseball. The Qs.
By the way, I'm picking Qs for Saturday.
Are you?
75-73.
I got to write that down. Hang on.
Do that. Yeah, do all my picks.
I am.
And then I'm going to get a text message on Sunday.
Bet your ass you're
a dumbass. That's what I'm going to get from him.
Yeah, okay. And you got the Chiefs 26-23.
Yep.
That's a low-scoring Super Bowl.
San Fran defense, bro.
I got it. It's Mike Lindsley, everybody. What a good night. What a good night.